Welcome one and all to another episode of Radio Sentai Castranger.
Oh my god, you guys. Battlefield 1, it's the greatest game ever.
I know.
Why are you talking about Battlefield 1?
Because
we're doing a show.
Because Battlefield 1, man. World
Why-
War 1. It's
why
Remembrance Day!
Why are we doing this?
So fucking fuck!
It's also my cousin's birthday, but
Lest
none of
we
you
forget,
remember.
motherfucker!
I'm gonna be fucking playing video games all weekend, so screw
Why
you.
are you
Did it take
guys
you long to grow that
yelling?
beard? I mean, that like.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Well,
Cue the roll call! Zenkaigan!
Loading. Connect.
Watching all the anime! Redcaster, Show Raven!
Equipment Wielder, Bluecaster, Ishida's Azil.
Loyal and Loud, Pinkcaster, Light Red!
Trauma Inducer, Northcaster, Saga!
Reigning from the capital, Mercury Caster, Overkill!
One little spark of courage! Dreamcaster, Global Soft Perka!
Broadcasting loud and opinionated perspectives across the internet.
Radio Sentai Castranger.
On air! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, to another episode of Radio Sentai Castranger. This is episode 127.
Guys, I got my Rock'em Sock'em Robots!
It's true, he does. He's been playing it at my house for the last week.
Yay!
It's funny because he showed me it when I came in the door. I'm like, oh shit, we gotta play. And I beat him 3 times in a row.
The really, really weird part about you having that is the day after we recorded the last episode where you said you bought this, I went over to my dad's house and I saw at his house, sitting under the table, that exact game.
Yep.
I was just, what?
Do you guys remember, maybe it was the late 90s, early aughts, when they tried to like redo Rock'em
Yeah.
Sock'em?
Yes.
Rock'em Sock'em Robot! You remember that?
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
That was the one I remember, actually.
But yeah, I love that they're called like Red Rock and Blue Bomber, and they're playing
I win.
Yay.
God fucking damn it. Yeah! Fuck you!
I know, you won one
Your
game.
winning streak is ended!
on another note, I'm back from Youmacon.
Yeah.
How
are
was
you?
that?
Tell us any good stories you can share.
Well, I mean, one of the most entertaining things was watching your faces. You looked at the email I sent you for the title card video.
Wow.
When we got back, because Itchy makes all the title card videos for all of our convention hopper stuff, and I sent him all the materials he needed for it in an email, and while I was in the office one morning, I asked him to double check that email because he hadn't read it yet. And the 3 files, I mean, one of them is the Youmacon logo, just so he had that to use.
Thank you for sending me the transparent one, by the way.
You're welcome. I look for it all the time now. When the other 2 files in that email were labeled ballsofsteel.mp3 and rip off his head and shit down his neck.png.
No, what?
That probably about tells you what the title card for these videos are going to be.
And you know what? If you're watching the video version, clip it in right now. Dave, I'll send you the video.
I hate you.
Emily, it's a thing Duke Nukem says. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna rip off your head
both-
and shit down your
Yeah,
neck.
both-
Weird, because I know Duke Nukem, I just have never heard that one line.
It's like, that's one of the lesser used ones, but it's a thing.
Yeah, by the way, Dave and Emily are here this week. Hi.
Oh, hello.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna edit myself out.
But, yeah, on that note, all of the Youmacon videos are done rendering. They're currently uploading at this moment because I
Literally get blue screened again.
Yeah, literally before we started recording this, I ran home and switched them to upload because the last one had just finished rendering. So they should probably be up and on our YouTube channel before this episode comes out.
Yeah, which this one comes out on Sunday.
Yeah, so definitely before this episode comes
So
out.
everyone who wants to see videos from Youmacon can go to the Ixie Studios YouTube channel.
I recommend you watch the opening ceremonies just because, trust me, the voice John
There's
St. John, the voice of Duke Nukem,
And
is
Big
the
Cat.
master of ceremonies at the opening ceremonies.
There's a reason those files were named such.
Yeah. You'll understand within the first 5 minutes, I guarantee
You got
you.
a free Duke Nukem game from him.
Yes, I
fucking
did.
hate you.
Wow.
I got a free copy of Duke Nukem World Tour from him at his panel.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's Duke Nukem's.
Any other quick stories you can share that weren't in the videos?
Team 4 Star's hilarious.
Well, that's not news.
Not really.
No, honestly, the majority of the stuff that happened, I filmed it. So, it's in the videos. Team 4 Star unveiled a brand new project, and they showed a trailer at their panel, which is in the video of their panel. So if you want to check out that, and you like Team 4 Star, check out that video.
Clickbait! Awesome!
Also, hint, if you like Bennett the Sage, you'll probably also want to look at that.
Well,
Did you meet him?
Did they
Yeah.
announce it, the movie
couple times.
that they're doing?
Oh, you mean the movie?
Because you know how they always announce a Dragon Ball movie?
Oh, no, they announced long beforehand they're doing Broly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When Broly!
And no, it was not done before Youmacon. Frankly, none of their episodes were done before Youmacon.
I was
so they
gonna
didn't
say,
have
what-
much.
They didn't even have
They didn't-
an
they
episode
didn't-
of Hellsing.
Yeah,
They didn't have much to debut except for teasers and trailers of the various things to do. So there was a teaser for the next episode of DBZ Abridged. There was a teaser for the next Hellsing Abridged.
Wow.
And they mentioned offhand that Brawly was coming. They were still working on
I
it.
forgot Hellsing Abridged existed.
Because
Yeah,
they
Because
released
they
an
haven't
episode
done it in
every
a
year.
year.
I know.
Alright, cool. So, go to the EXE Studios YouTube channel and check those out.
Because they'll be up by the time this episode goes up.
Yay.
So yeah, sorry guys. This week there's no X8 or Jojer, so
Because golf!
Fucking God! It's because of Trump, okay? It's the reason why we
Trump
don't
is
have...
banned, Toku.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
I
no-
mean, it's all
said,
Trump's
"Fuck
fault,
that, I
even
wanna
though the
watch
election
golf."
hadn't happened yet.
Trump hates
He
Tokusatsu.
just said he wanted to watch golf. They said, okay, we don't want him to launch the nukes. Let's have...
No.
Let's,
You know what it
let's
is?
watch them golf.
You know what it is? There's no superheroes this week because they elected a supervillain.
Yeah, X8 and Sentai are out fighting Emperor Trump right
Fighting
now.
the
Yeah.
Republicans.
I said this in the news, but on a real note, people, if you're genuinely afraid of what might happen, I say this: don't worry. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to be bad. It's not going to be that bad. But if you're genuinely worried, we have plenty of room up here.
I don't know. The immigration's website crashed.
I never thought it would be you to express what could be interpreted as white privilege.
Well, I mean, you guys already took my land for one time. I mean, what's it to matter again?
Oh.
Right?
Alright, so, since no episodes of X8 or Zoojer aired this week, instead we decided to talk about two different shows. First off, we're
God.
talking about, I forget the full title, but it's Gridman, the show that was eventually adapted.
Lightning Superhuman Gridman.
think
Raven, sorry, I need to say something here to Raven and everyone at a fucking movie theater. Okay, give me that for a second. Okay, when you're trying to be quiet, this, when you try to do it slow, is louder than just going once done.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Do it quick, get it over with.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Don't do half the movie.
That bag
Crinkle.
That bag is totally different than normal roll gold.
That's
bag.
because it's from the States.
This has been Rage with Sal.
These are American pretzels?
Yes.
Yo, give me one.
They're
These
They're
pretzels
freaking
are-
rolled gold. It's nothing that weird. I just wanted pretzels for when we were drinking in the
You know
hotel
what?
room.
Since this is happening, I'm just gonna bust out the old standard.
Capitalism.
Oh, wait a second. If you're doing that, then I have
God.
to do it too.
Oh,
Man.
God.
Wait a second.
These
Fuck
pretzels
you.
are making me thirsty.
Yeah, David
Like I-
earlier tweeted us sent us a picture of a
Yeah.
case of Diet Pepsi he got.
No, man, like I said, I bought a big bag of pretzels for when we were drinking in the room. That was legit the reason.
Okay.
Anyways,
Genuinely amazed that survived that weekend.
Not much of it.
But still,
Alright, so,
Found
we
a
talked
nice
about
blood orange
episode 1.
IPA.
Thank you. We talked about episode 1 of Denkou Choujin Gridman, the show that was eventually adapted into Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
Which you can watch the first couple episodes of in our AFK Econ video from back in February.
Yeah.
Jesus, that long ago?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
garb.
And the second show we watched was apparently a Netflix original called Midnight Diner, which was suggested
Which
to us by
wasn't-
Shadowcaster.
it wasn't. It's not in the Netflix original. It was an actual show in Japan. Netflix just picked it up and put it on Netflix.
Well,
That's the same as Glitter
this
Force.
incarnation of it is a Netflix original.
Oh,
Glitter
okay.
Force was originally Smile Precure, but they call it a Netflix original because the dub is exclusive to Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all of that is based on a manga series.
And then for our feature topic,
Because we are continuing ZILLAVEMBER, we decided to watch Godzilla vs. King Kong. Yes,
I thought it was Killvember.
No, ZILLAVEMBER was the least stupid name out of what we came up with.
Oh,
Really? The
Yeah.
least
Yes.
at least
Come up with a less stupid name then.
Killvember.
No.
What?
Now then you're just stroking your own ego there, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Stroking something else.
His dick.
It's ZILLAVEMBER, and we did Godzilla vs. King Kong.
No, it's King Kong, but
Anyways, guys, let's take our floppy disks and let's upload ourselves into Gridman! Woo!
That was
Gross.
awful.
Let's go Turbo!
Gross. So, the first thing we noticed about this show,
Was its opening.
which has a pretty awesome song.
Yeah.
Shut up.
That Gridman theme.
Oh, yeah.
That Gridman theme is awesome, though.
Oh my god, I'm adding it to my music collection immediately.
Oh my god, that's
So-
funny.
So about the opening, the first thing we see is a Intel 386 motherboard.
Oh, did you actually notice what actual hardware was being used in this?
Yeah,
You
I
know David's
recognize-
old when.
And the reason why I recognized it was because of the position of the chipsets.
Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, while we
Pretty
were
cool.
while we were watching this, the thing that really kept catching me off guard was the fact that this show was really well filmed and in 60 frames.
Yeah.
So the thing that got me about the 60 frames.
90s.
Yeah, the 60 frames thing. I was like, it's really weird that they have drone footage in like the early 90s.
This show aired in '93, the same year that Mighty Morphin Power Rangers aired.
Coincidence?
Yeah.
Most likely.
Coincidence?
But, like-
Absolutely.
So the thing that gets me going is the fact that it's in 60 FPS, but it's all practical.
Yeah.
It's literally all circuit boards where they just surface mounted a bunch of like cool little effects on top of a giant circuit board.
And the really weird thing when it comes to the real world shots that are in 60 frames is all the stuff that's inside the computer is not. Like, you see the kids who are like fully like animated in 60 not animated, but the video is in 60 frames, and then they're looking at the computer screen, which is showing other footage, but that is clearly at a much slower frame rate.
That's at the 24 frames, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting because, like, overall, this actually looked like it could have been shot like in the West.
Yeah,
Like it had that kind of look to it, like the pacing and the blocking of the shots.
It was very American.
Yeah, it looked
appearing.
American. Like it was weird.
I think it was on purpose.
Could have been entirely. Okay, so what's the history of this show? Like you said, it was like an Ultraman offshoot.
Gar would be able to describe this a bit better, but it was created by Subaraya Productions, the same guys who make Ultraman.
Okay.
So it's pretty much Ultraman.exe.
Yeah, obviously they took a lot of inspiration from the previous Ultraman shows that they had done, but this isn't technically an Ultraman.
It's a
series.
standalone.
He received
But it's actually
both
good.
Ultraman, and there are some very Ultraman-y things. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was just kidding when I said it, but the first time he mentioned, like he even kind of goes shwa, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what is
Yeah.
this Ultraman?
Okay, well, and he has the blinky thing on his head
With
just
the
to show
time
he's
limit.
running out of power.
Well, a quick description of the plot of Gridman. 3 computer-savvy kids, Naoto, Yuka, and Ippei, create their own video game superhero, but then discover it's possessed by an interdimensional police officer, Gridman. Pursuing an evil program called Con Digifer, he merges with Naoto and fights Con Digifer's digitized monsters, created by social misfit Takashi, in order to prevent the computerized demon from wreaking havoc on the human world.
So
that'll.
the one thing I got is he was designing Gridman.
And
But Gridman already
then
existed
an actual being
before?
inhabited the CG design.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
That's
digital existence.
Everything I have ever read about the plot of this show talks about this digital existence, the hyper agent, who just didn't have a form per se beforehand, but just injected itself into the design that was already on this computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, they did not explain that in the first episode.
I interpreted that from
he
that.
just poofed into the thing and turned into that.
I thought...
I figured that out
and then proceeded to call himself Gridman, which is a name that the kids had already come up with.
Yeah, that's what got me was...
The thing is, he described himself as the hyper agent, which Condigifer noticed as well.
Yeah.
And then he called himself Gridman because he had integrated with the kids' Gridman design.
Yeah, but the thing that got me... the whole thing that got me all confused was, yes, he called himself Gridman and all that, but I thought that he was a hyper policeman and it was just fake. Like, he just made that up. Even though the other guy knew it, I originally thought that, he's just making that shit up because he's an AI.
Well, what it appears to be is, this is just me guessing, but this is some sort of, like, internet vaccine policing AI of some sort who tracked Condigifer to this, like, network space and saw that the kids had designed this Gridman character and thought, I can use that.
So
it's kind of like
It's like
the
Badass North and Anti-Vote.
it's like Reboot.
so when does the kid from Mrs. Doubtfire come into play here?
It's actually really interesting to see how close Cyber Squad was modeled after.
Yeah, like their
characters in the show.
basement had the same basic setup.
Yeah,
like their little basement, their little unit. What was his name? Junk.
The three kids built this gigantic computer in their basement out of spare parts
Which I gotta
out of the garbage.
Like, admit, like even though this was like it looked pretty cool. Like I can only imagine in the '90s how that looked.
Like I don't think any kid in the '90s could ever have built a computer like that. It was basically, in those like sci-fi instructional films where you see like supercomputers in the fucking background of buildings. It was like that.
But the thing is, they had 10 GPUs in it.
Yeah, which
That's
probably
really
all
odd,
had
man.
like 4 megabytes
What kind
each.
of power is that thing drawing?
Apparently a lot, because every time it showed an actual battle on it, my immediate comment was, "Oh god, the graphics are too good! Time to explode all our GPUs!"
Yeah, the GPUs are just exploding. I'm like, after the first explosion, that computer should have blue screened.
Yeah.
The game should have just ended.
I love how like there was a shot where like the explosions are going off right in front of these children actors.
Yeah.
It's great.
Wow. So apparently, Gridman had 39 episodes. Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad had 53. So somehow they were able to extend on their footage they had.
Probably not. To some degree, it was probably just they reused all the battle footage, but because of how they filmed their live portions, it was just they had more episodes out of it.
So yeah, they probably had some episodes
then.
Oh, probably.
Or they probably had some episodes where Gridman or whatever his name is didn't do anything.
Like there were probably a couple episodes where he wasn't fighting,
or he fought War on Drugs.
or they turned a one episode thing into a two-parter a couple times.
Yeah, maybe.
It's entirely
This
balls.
is making me want to watch Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad because I actually really
Talk to
enjoy
Greencaster.
Gridman.
He's got the whole thing on VHS.
Oh god.
Oh, like the actual tape. From
Yeah,
the
no,
Yeah.
he bought it like back in the day, and he still has it kicking around somewhere.
Oh my god, is that what
So-
Kilo Khan's actual name stands for?
What?
Kilo Khan, short for Kilometric Knowledge Base Animate Human Nullity.
Oh wow.
Well,
Okay.
Wow.
So there was this one shot when the kids were riding their bikes, and it looks like there's like a GoPro attached to the wheel of the bike.
yeah, that was
No, it's
interesting.
got to be like one of those like big ass fucking cameras.
Yeah.
That kid must have been struggling to keep balance.
Yeah.
Like honestly, either that or there's a guy, like legit. They've done this where they have a guy who's holding on the back of the bike on a skateboard and holding onto the camera. And the kid's just pedaling, and he's basically pedaling two people.
So I think it's great that we started talking about this show while X8 is airing, because this show kind of reminded me of X8 a lot. Not only does the kid get a sickness and go to the hospital, which is obviously something that happens in X8, but the emo kid, the Japanese version of Malcolm, Takashi, I think his name was.
Which I was like, again, this is what weirded me out about Cyber Squad now. was how closely it looked like they were trying to follow Gridman in terms of aesthetic and design and character.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do that in the early Power Rangers.
No, they went far away.
Like, I mean, just like, the freaking Noah Antweiler kid over here.
Yeah. But, what I thought was interesting, which was kind of another parallel to X8, was when Takashi started playing around with, like, the Gillerus on his computer. What he did was he started up a game called Castle of Torture, and my immediate thought was, that's a game that could be a Bugster virus.
Yeah.
Which then was infected by the actual Condigifer virus.
Wouldn't that
became a monster?
For real, wouldn't that be something? Maybe X8 was inspired by this.
Maybe.
In some way.
Would it be all... There should just be like a Castle of Torture Gashet that summons the Gillerus Bugster.
Crossover with
Gridman Gashet!
The Castle of Torture was just in English. I was watching the first episode with no subs originally, and it was just like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, Castle of Torture.
Oh, okay.
And so,
Okay.
so the first episode starts with a kid almost dying. That's
Yes.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it literally starts with a kid.
That's really cool.
That was obviously Emu when he was a kid.
His secret origin of
It
Denkou.
almost starts with a kid dying. I'm like, holy shit, come on, guys,
Shit.
episode 1!
Yeah, like, shit, the power's going out. Quick, give him a Wonder Swan.
Ease us into that shit.
Being electrocuted, at least someone, like, put a metal pole
Oh
in the
my
middle of the room
god.
or something.
That scene in the hospital when the power starts going weird. Just lasers and flying hospital utensils.
Oh, the best-
Watch out, there's a hole punch!
I think the point to that was the electricity in that room was going, like, fucking bonkers, so all that zapping electricity was creating a magnetic field and all the metal tools were flying around.
Those tools were flying very slow to be a magnetic.
Right? But, 90s practical
I
effect
just
attempt.
love how every couple seconds we just see a fucking scalpel just zoom the fuck
Yeah,
by.
we was like,
Watch out!
yeah, they're just superimposed over everything, because apparently medical tools are connected to the internet.
and just like and lasers
They just
and
go insane.
Well-
tins with mouths going om nom nom nom.
To be fair, there was a digital attack on that computer, and yet there was a fucking lightning storm happening at the same time.
No, the lightning storm was caused by the guy using the computer.
What,
Yeah.
What if that was just an unrelated incident?
I like to hope so
Bullshit.
because if a virus infecting a computer can affect the weather, then everyone's fucked.
And why did this all happen? Because
It will never be
Takashi got
sunny
his
again.
love letter rejected from the girl
That's
he
the
likes.
thing. He didn't even get rejected.
He didn't give it to her. He had every opportunity to hand it to her and didn't, and then she left.
Oh,
Because she was late for
late
class.
fucking school.
And then
She
he
was late
just,
for
instead
class.
of like, I'm gonna try again later, crushes it in his hand and starts going on
Slows
about how
him.
he was rejected.
Kid caused his
What-
own problem.
No, wait. You know what this kid just reminded me of? You guys remember that movie, Meet the Robinsons?
Yeah, they all hated me.
Yeah, that goob kid.
Yes, that's what
Like,
I-
they all hated me. It turned, like, you're not even trying, guy. Like, come on.
I'll show her to go to class
Yes.
instead of accepting
He
my love
turns on
letter.
Castle of Torture, I'll turn him into a duck.
Now,
Oh my God.
on another note, before we continue on in this episode, because I've been looking it up,
Oh.
the opening theme. Finally found the name of the singer who did that.
Oh yeah?
Norio Sakai. The only other real notable thing I see on all this is the ending theme for Kamen Rider Black.
Oh. Cool.
Is the only other thing of note I see
It's
here.
funny that the show is somehow linked to Black because when the kid was programming Gridman on his DOS screen for one moment was unknown command RX.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, fuck.
So, hospital's fucked. What are the kids gonna do? Hey, let's send our little Digimon guy after them through the internet.
Well, that wasn't the initial idea, but
Actually made like a back
we're gonna
seat.
go and see what's up by using our
Yeah.
supercomputer we
No,
built.
wait, are
We
these
just
all
biked-
siblings?
We just biked all the way here. Now let's go back.
One of them is the sibling of that little boy who was
Yeah.
on the table.
Yeah.
The main guy,
But
Naoto.
the other two were
Yeah.
just friends. The girl was actually the daughter of the doctor who was doing the surgery.
Yeah.
Her family owns the hospital.
And the third guy's just the friend.
Yeah, he's just the friend who was there.
I'm helping.
Yes.
So, shit's fucked. The kids are gonna do what they can, and that's when the mysterious hyper agent comes from the internet and possesses the Gridman design.
We just completely skipped over the fact that, little Patrick Bates over there. He goes home to play on his computer. He summons a monster. Then out of the ether, who shows up?
Condigifer.
Tim Curry.
It's Condigifer.
Condigifer. Yeah, Condigifer.
That's a cool name, actually.
Digifer.
Like, just
Bill.
Did you know furries?
No.
and just fun mention for Condigifer. For everybody in this room watching that was just like, man, that voice sounds kind of familiar, and I kept every time. It's Master Roshi from Dragon Ball.
There it is. It was kind of like, I was honestly kind of hoping Tim Curry had actually just spoken Japanese.
Watashi wa Condigifer.
Right?
Wow.
Wow.
Damn it, I gotta add some Waluigi
Tim
stuff now.
Curry as Wario.
I'm gonna add some Wario stuff now.
No, do Waluigi. Wah!
I'm number one.
So, this hyper agent starts speaking to the children, and they try to respond, and this is probably the funniest thing in the episode. They try to respond, and the agent responds with, "You don't have a mic. I can't hear you. Please type your response."
You idiots.
Right?
It's
like I
They
see your
built
lips
this fucking-
moving. I can't hear you.
Where are the
Type.
subs?
They literally built this whole supercomputer.
Sorry, that
They
was
did
dumb.
not put a microphone in it.
This was the 90s. No one needed a mic.
I think it would have
I
been.
had a mic in the 90s.
You're not normal.
I think it would have been really funny if they showed like it from like Gridman's perspective, and you just see
Yeah.
like the three kids like on the other side of the screen just going,
Just talking, but not no sound.
and he's just like, what?
Subs, not subs.
Yeah.
You idiots.
We all have subs.
And then it's like, what's going on? No time for questions.
Yeah.
You!
And
Take
after
this
they
thing
start-
and fuse with me!
And then they fuse together.
And then you get the new suit of armor.
What the hell was that?
I like.
Fuse together!
I actually really liked how like Naoto got this awesome Sentai like undersuit as
Yup.
he like
yeah, it looked like the
enters the Digi world.
it looked like the blue Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And the way they fuse together,
Oh my god.
it's Photoshop heaven.
Great.
I could.
They took two stills, they used the crop tool, and just went, whee!
That shit I could replicate in Adobe Flash
Well,
in 5 minutes.
I mean, this is a show about computers, so
Uh,
using what they got.
They literally,
The way they-
both of them
the-
standing opposite each other, went through a fucking shuttle loop, and then, like, rotated into each other.
And
Yeah.
then the action figure was lifted up on a piece of string and went through the
Yup.
internet.
And that's when
And
in the dub, you would be hearing Superhuman Samurai!
Right?
You know, it'd be great, like, if they actually,
A
if
better
like,
show.
if the kids like outside on their computer, they were just like, it's like, oh, Gridman needs help. What should we do? Just click on him, highlight, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste.
Wait.
Well, apparently they did something similar
That's
because...
how they end the series.
Because
Highlight monster, delete key.
No, they just ended up drawing a bunch more fucking robots
On
and
MS
fucking
Paint.
CG.
Yeah.
And then they fused again.
So he gets into, like, the digi world of the hospital computers, and he's tiny and the monster's giant. So apparently Yuka...
Which led to, like, wait, what was his plan going in?
Yeah, like, he didn't know that Yuka could enlarge him, so he was gonna straight up Carter Grayson them.
I'm going to fight the giant monster myself.
And he's gonna jet jack.
I've got heart.
He's gonna fight the giant Rhyperior.
No,
Giant
it-
sand
no,
slash
it looked-
Godzilla.
No, it looked like a giant Rhydon mixed with Space Godzilla.
But why the rock bra?
Because
Why not?
I guess.
So apparently Yuka just decides that she can, like, drag to enlarge, and...
No,
Great.
no,
He
but
codes something.
the friend's like, can you do that? And she's like, I don't know, I'm gonna try.
Like
Clicks a few keys.
programming is a thing. We're gonna see if it works.
Going into source code, change height from 20 to 2000.
But wouldn't it have been great if, like, he actually, because, like, they stretched him, he just all got, like, his image was
Like
destroyed.
misaligned, so it's
yeah.
just the height, not the width.
Yeah.
So he's all not disproportionate.
Or, like, you know, like, it's like the pixels are dragged
well,
out.
the thing is, like, when he first morphed in his little homeroom, and he, like, leaned forward, kind of to like make him look intimidating, it kind of looked like that, where he was stretched upward but not outward, so the perspective was really fucked.
And yeah, when he grew, he did like the Ultraman, I'm growing thing, which I always loved.
You couldn't not. It's a Subaraya production.
It would have been a travesty.
I gotta say, in terms of Gridman's design, I really like it.
Yeah,
like he looks like a cyber Ultraman.
I had that really action figure as a kid.
I did too, actually.
I hadn't heard about this show until February.
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched it as a kid.
Meanwhile, everyone else in that room was like, "Yeah, no, we grew up on this shit."
Yeah.
Like I had the action figure and all the robots that combined with them.
Cool. I had just the Gridman figure.
But the fight was cool. Like he karate chopped like the monster's like horn off, and then you could see like the circuitry and wires in his forehead, and that was
like I meant to make
digital or mechanical?
Yeah, it's a cyber. It was created on the computer.
I meant to make everything else in that realm kind of had circuit lines on it, so makes sense.
I meant to make the joke earlier that like the whole reason the show had like a digital aspect to it was they had accidentally broken off some of the you exposed the circuitry. Make a computer show. It's all every robot.
Oh my god, that's right. I forgot. And later in the show, or whatever, he gets like this cool like T-Rex fucking
and combines with it.
Yeah, I know. It combines.
Something I want to say I really like about this show.
That's the toy I have.
It's a good show.
Most toku, like, they have great miniatures in general for, like, the cities, but the thing is, they all tend to look the same. It's just supposed to be, Japan.
A city.
I liked how weird this looked. The fact that this was supposed to be indoors, although I like making the joke that, so this all is literally happening in a computer right now.
So they can just open up the case and see the fighting.
No, not even that. I like making the joke that...
Which even the opening theme kind of does, because as it's zooming out of the computer landscape, it just zooms up on the fucking circuit board on their supercomputer.
So maybe.
I like making the joke, okay, where's Mr. Plinkett when you need him?
Where's
that printer? Off!
So what you're saying is, if they open up the side of the computer, they can just go squish.
Yeah.
That's what I just said!
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
But
Not
yes,
sorry.
that.
Oh my god.
The opening theme definitely makes that seem like it could be a thing.
My favorite thing in the whole fight was as he comes in, like before he enlarges, he like has that flying pose, and he comes out of the tunnel.
And they just flip him the fuck over.
Speeds towards Gillerus, and the picture of him flying does a 180.
Yep.
And now it's a kick!
And then kicks into the schnoz of the monster.
Literally no change in the action figure's position. It just... We flipped it, we rotated it, so the feet first.
That's animation, right?
That's how Flash animation
Then he lands, and it's like this forced perspective thing with a green screen.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
And, like, while he's running around small fighting Gillerus, like, Gridman himself is in 60 frames, but all of the scenery behind him is not.
Yeah, all the scenery behind him is in, like, 24.
Yeah, it's really distracting.
Yeah.
But no, the other funny thing was the fact that when Gridman like morphed and like entered the internet, there was a screen with his stats, and then after he grows big and does one attack where he flips the monster over, all of his stats go back down.
Yeah, no, one attack and you're already running out of power.
One and done.
No, the computer was exploding.
Yeah.
Yep.
If junk crashes, Gridman will be deleted. That's how that works, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's stored
screw
locally.
backups on the hard drive.
I'm saying he's stored locally. It's not like he's gonna. If the computer dies, like let's say like my hard drive dies, you can't get that stuff back. Like he's fucked. He's deleted.
I suppose.
Yeah.
They didn't have cloud saves back then. Okay. They didn't have cloud saves. They didn't have Google Drive.
So, seeing as this is an Ultraman, of course he's gonna finish him off with a beam from his arm.
Yep.
Grit beam! That was cool.
It was cool.
And I love how, like, the first shot fired from that beam hits him right in the face where he's aiming, but then he decides, okay, I've got him in the face, let's aim for the rest of him. And it just, like, zigzags its way down his body.
Yep.
And then Gridman heals the destroyed buildings with the power of his armpits.
Yep. It's like armpit beam healing.
Smell my healing powers.
So the hospital's back up, and I guess it's assumed that the kid survived his appendicitis.
Yep.
It's pretty easy.
Yep.
I love how, like, after this major terrorist attack, they're like, let's go back to operating. Like, immediately.
Oh my god, I think this is the coolest monster I've seen, Gridman. Its name is Cheeto Guerra. So look at that.
That's cool.
It's like a skeletal, like, dinosaur monster.
You know what that is?
Hmm?
That's what the Skull Beast from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie digivolves into.
There you go.
So the episode ends with, the battle against Count Digifer continues. It could happen somewhere near you.
Or you.
If you're in the 90s.
Right?
And then scenes of monster destruction play to the tune of happy ending music.
Right?
I Joe, you Joe. Sorry.
See,
Pretty much.
I hate when they do that, when they, like, have, like, their endings always, like, sounds like a
Serious,
happy song.
serious
Because, like,
stuff, happy music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's ever gonna top Clanad on that one, as I have said multiple times.
No, Lane, actually, this applies to you. You're going to see a lot of that with Next Gen. Where it's going to end, like, an episode's going to end, perhaps, in the end, we couldn't really save those people from their own destruction.
God.
Lane's been watching Star Trek.
But
too much.
Yeah, as I've said multiple times before, Clanad wins for that one all the time. My wife is dead! Happy music. It's
I don't have to give her any half my money now.
Watch main character's little girl die in his arms. Happy music with the child prancing around in the fucking animation.
Yeah,
oh my god, Counselor Troy is pregnant with Picard's baby! Space, the final frontier!
Yeah, that's what I was when I did the Ijo Yujo, Sorano Oto's ending, which is always like war and destruction, and then happy music.
Yep. Nope.
When you said those lines, my immediate thought went to Veronica from Bleach. Ijo Yujo.
No.
Sorano
Oto has a great opening theme.
Speaking of shows with great openings.
Alright, so that was Gridman episode 1. Pretty great show. I would watch it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's got a lot of 90s cheese
relevant.
to it, but that's what makes it kind of fun.
Guys, I'm feeling pretty feeling pretty hungry. Should we go to, like, a diner or something?
Well, it's almost midnight, so he'll be open soon.
Let's go.
深夜食堂東京ストーリーズ
So, Midnight Diner is a show that was recommended to us by Shadowcaster, and I saw why after I made a quick skim through the episode, because at surface glance, this didn't really seem like something we should be talking about, but I understand why.
No, what's really funny is, like, we're watching this, like, me, Raven, Ichi, and Gar all watching it together, and, like, partway through, just Gar's just like, it's fucking boring, I'm
not in the episode anyway, I'm going.
You know, it's funny because as I was watching this, I was like, I could see why, like, not to be a dick here, I could see why Kevin would, like, recommend this to me or Paul. You know? This seems something more up our alley. I'm like, why would he recommend this to you?
Yeah, and then we watch it, we're like, oh!
I'm like,
that's
and then
nice.
even, like, when, Gar's like, those boring. You uncultured swine.
I'm sitting there like...
I was enjoying the before part.
I'm sitting there like, no, I like stuff like this. I've watched a bunch of things.
It's very quaint at first.
Kind of like semi-reminds me of a old Japanese movie called Tampopo.
Okay, you leave.
So Midnight Diner is this incarnation of it is a Netflix original series. The whole show is up on Netflix now. Based on a previously aired series that aired last year in 2015, which in itself is based off of a manga series.
Because everything's based off of manga.
It's very slice of life.
It's about food
Unless
and
it's based on a
feelings.
novel.
It's about this gentleman who runs a diner that is only open from midnight to 7 a.m., and it's about the different customers he serves, the different food they order, and the solving of their problems.
And I gotta say, the thing that, like, the guy made for this episode, I actually want to try it.
Oh yeah, don't watch this show on an empty stomach.
Yeah, I ended up having to get noodles made.
Yeah, so
I want a vegetable soup with noodles at the bottom, please.
So yeah, what's his name? The owner? Did we ever get his name?
I don't think we caught his name.
I mean, they call him Master.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's
it's
the thing.
He's always known as Barkeep, like, you know.
This guy looks like he was in a toku himself because he's got a scar.
I was gonna say that for later.
This man has seen some shit.
That is the most out of place thing in this entire. I'm sure it looked cooler in the manga. Like, he's an old grizzled guy. You know, he was probably in a war or something. But like this show, which presents itself as so realistic, so like like, oh, this is
Earth.
real. This guy, yeah, I got this in the cyber war. Like, like it's like this real.
got this
It looks like
Kilo Khan.
it kind of looks like Soldier 76's scar.
We're all cooks now.
Maybe he used to be part of the Yakuza or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I said. I was like, he's probably
Yeah.
like it was a member of the Yakuza.
So
He's not missing any fingers. I don't know.
So the character being focused on for this episode in particular is a radio announcer named Shimada.
And again, the Overwatch jokes were aplenty.
Yeah.
Only a drag. Only
Only
Shimada.
Shimada can control the airwaves.
Oh my god. Wait, isn't that Lucio?
Let's break it down. Okay, yeah. His character in the show is only Master.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a name.
All right.
That's it, but that makes it
So
cooler.
what I'm
It's the
assuming
order
the
of
show
the
is about, and I like how each episode is named after a different dish.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm assuming what each show, because Master himself isn't really a character in this. He starts off like saying, "I own this noodle shop. It does more business than you'd think." And I only make this one type of dish unless someone asks for something else. But
Well,
only if I have the
He
ingredients.
said he has a small menu, and they showed the menu, but they didn't translate anything on it.
Yes, they did.
It said just
I forget
miso
exactly
soup,
what it was,
pork,
but it was a
and
small menu.
sausage.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, okay, so
something.
basically it's a.
But he says
soba
that
place.
if I have the ingredients, I'll make whatever someone asks.
Yeah,
I want
which
a
is a
ramen.
good, which is a good policy.
Which I'm like, so a restaurant?
So can you make me a ramen cheeseburger, please?
Yeah, you never
Yes, I
know.
can.
So the idea, so the food being focused on.
Hold on. Community joke. For the dinner, I will have a birthday cake.
So the food of focus in this episode is tanmen,
Oh, look great.
which is noodles with vegetable soup.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a vegetable soup with
Que
noodles
bella.
in it, and judging from what we were looking at in that pot, there's a little bit of bacon in there too.
Yeah, which was like, okay.
With like lettuce,
Right?
fried lettuce.
It's like every time we saw him cooking, he started
It's-
by tossing bacon
It's
into
like,
a
wait,
frying
who
pan.
helped fund this? Epic Mealtime?
Yeah.
More bacon.
There's bacon in everything.
I want
Netflix.
bacon soup. It's just bacon and bacon grease, please.
Bacon in the basin.
It's probably not actually bacon either. It's probably just like
Some
pork.
time of pork.
It's just a
It
little.
was just very thin.
It's like very thin cut pork to add to the soup, just for the soup base.
Just like in the last episode, I have a secret confession to make. I have not once used any Japanese ingredients.
You're not even in Japan right now.
This is down the
He
street.
opens it. He just opens the door and it's New York.
The
It's
cooking.
little Tokyo in LA.
The cooking scene made it look super delicious.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's half the point of the show.
Again,
to show off the
don't
food.
don't watch this on an empty stomach.
Right?
So
I
I
made
hate
this
Shimada,
mistake.
twice.
Don't do it.
so Shimada, the radio announcer, is eating his noodles and being scolded for it because he's on a diet or something. And that's
Well,
when-
no, he's being scolded because he was saying he's supposed to be on a diet, and the other customer who's not related to him in the slightest
Yeah.
was sitting there going, "Oh, shut up about your damn diet when you're eating fucking noodles."
I was gonna say, like, you're not my wife.
Maybe she is. Who knows?
Uh,
She wasn't explained.
but anyway, so yeah, this is our character. What happens next?
So the other character focused on this episode, a lady by the name of Harumi, shows up and orders basically the same meal, but without the noodles. So essentially, vegetable soup.
Which impresses the shit out of him for some reason.
And
Like,
apparently
you can
everyone...
do that?
Yes, you have.
They
kind
literally
of
just
weird,
call
right?
it tanmen without noodles.
Now, I granted this again. This might be more of a cultural thing, but isn't that a thing? Like that's a very Western thing. Asking for food, but making subtractions.
Yeah, you're not
Is-
supposed to do it in Japan.
That's a very Western thing, isn't it? Like,
I know, I
like
do
basic
that.
example: a regular cheeseburger has pickles, onions, tomatoes,
Yeah.
lettuce, cheese. To say
Plain.
I want it without pickles or onions,
Yeah.
that's just a very Western thing.
Yeah.
I know I do that.
I do that all the time.
All the time.
So like maybe that's why they were all like, "What? You asked for that without?"
Yeah. So, so Shimada's impressed by that and talks about this as the hot new diet on his radio show. Because I guess his show is about diets.
It came across as just talk radio.
It's anything that happens to him that week.
It's listener call-ins.
Yeah.
And mail and email. And
You're
shit.
listening to All Night Radio.
Apparently,
Here
those
we
shows
whisper.
exist a lot in Japan because
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen multiple shows with that as a plot.
Well, the
Jesus,
thing
here.
is, because in Japan, you don't really go home to go to bed anymore. Like, people stay at work, and they sleep at work, and they live at work, and
they
they only go home
between midnight and 7 a.m.
Wow, no wonder the anime scene is so successful.
That's legit. These guys on their lunch break, because every one of these people in that diner works late nights.
Yeah, like the taxi driver. She said like, "Oh,
She works all night.
I'm between rides right now. I just want to eat something and go back to work."
She's on her break.
Yeah.
And the radio guy was either on his way to do his show or coming back from his show and just grabbing something.
Seeing as his show is Midnight Shima-chan, he's probably on at midnight, which means he comes there afterwards.
That's his breakfast.
Yeah.
I was gonna. Okay, so this is where the relation came in, because I was watching it and I was being a shit. Where we just see Harumi. She's like driving her taxi, right? And I couldn't help but notice she has some big ears, right? And I used to have that. I used to have elf ears, actually. Not even kidding. Had corrective surgery. So I'm like, oh, who's this supposed to be? The pink ghost ager? And just all your
and I'm sitting.
And all your heads just kind of do this.
Yeah.
We're all silent for a second, and I'm just like, hold on to that for a bit.
And he was just like, ah!
I'm like, oh god, I did it again!
Stop predicting the future! I know you're from the future, but stop predicting it!
To understand what he's talking about, go listen to the start of this week's Extra Castranger.
Yeah.
That's
not even. They didn't even hear that part of it.
We talked about it.
We didn't mention what he did.
Okay, can we say it here?
Sure.
Okay, so this is getting off topic. So Raven, how did it start?
So I'm sitting here, just like, it's if you didn't listen to Extra, I'm gonna be a dad. So Itchy and Lane already knew ahead of time. But I was like, you know what? I should probably tell Sel and Emily.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, hey, I got a little announcement to make.
And then without missing a beat, you're pregnant.
And I stopped for a second and I'm like, no, but Danette is.
Wait, for real? I was kidding.
A few weeks ago, I didn't know we were dating. So.
Right?
Wow, you guys moved quick.
Emily, they weren't dating.
Oh, no.
Now they are. But no, and again, congrats on that. So yeah, so what's the twist of this episode? Going back on topic, I was saying, who is she supposed to be? The pink ghost ager?
Turns out she actually is a Pink Ranger, a fictional ninja Sentai team called Densetsu Ninja Sentai Koga,
which roughly translated means
Legendary Ninja Squadron Koga.
Doesn't Koga mean ninja or something?
No, Koga is one of
a family.
Yeah, it was one of the ninja clans.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Koga from Pokemon.
Yeah.
Shinobi
and that reference,
which is also the same thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
so the names on this team are pretty interesting. So the lady herself, Harumi, was Crimson Kaede, which is translates
Maple.
to Kurenai Kaede, which is Crimson Maple.
Okay,
that was the only name I bothered to take down the pronunciation of. The other members of this team are Delir, Black Flying Squirrel, Ultramarine Gale, Light Green Yonezo, and Orange Tasuke.
Huh?
They even have one of their members as the fat guy because
he was the green one.
Yeah, I like him.
Because early
Yeah.
It was usually yellow.
Yeah.
And because Shimada noticed who it is, and he's a super fan of the show, we see him pull out the picture of them and do the roll call catchphrase of the show.
Just had that.
and then went and declared on his radio show, "Oh, I met my first love, this taxi driver who used to play the Pink Ranger."
No, he didn't mention the taxi driver. It's just
no, he just mentioned
I met my first love the other day. She has no idea who I am, but and she says, and I'm sitting there like, dude, she listens to your radio show, right?
Well, I mean, but again, he wasn't outing her right there, and I appreciate it too. He wasn't weird about. He was saying it we all had that first crush. We all had that first love of someone on TV. He's saying it like that with fond memories of a child. He's not oh my love, come back to me. He's like
every kid in the Pink Power Ranger.
Exactly. There you go.
And so she hears that and she immediately shuts off the radio because she's embarrassed.
Yeah, he's
no. It wasn't him talking that embarrassed her. He went to play the opening theme.
Oh, that.
And she switched that off because she didn't want to hear
that. None of that.
And we were like, oh, we wanted to hear the theme. Cock tease.
Yep.
I bet they never even made a full version, dude.
No,
Probably not.
No, of course not.
Meanwhile, back at the bar, who showed up?
Oren, Pierre, fucking Alfonso.
Except not.
We thought it was.
Actually, them. But
We looked it up.
Yeah,
He's not.
I think-
I saw this character and I'm like, someone check if that's Metal Yoshida.
Yeah, I think every single one of us, the first time they saw him, was like, "Wait a minute, is that?"
Yeah, and then me and Lane looked that up immediately thereafter when we first watched it and went, "No, it's not."
if you don't understand the reference, basically these are two cross-dressers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Master's pretty cool. Like, he's just like, he lets everyone in.
Yeah.
He just wants money, man. Leave him alone.
It is a little restaurant that is open between the hours of midnight and 7 a.m.
You're gonna get
I guarantee you his customer base consists of a lot of people of the night.
People of the night! So, well, we got like 9 other episodes to go.
Yeah.
One of which apparently includes Joe Odagiri, who played Kuga.
Yeah, he's in this somewhere.
Sorry, what did you say, Dave?
I don't know how to, like, trans, I guess? I don't know how to pronounce, like,
Just
it was the guy who...
Just say trans.
The guy who turned out to be Black Flying Squirrel.
Yeah, it's Black Flying Squirrel, but that's not what I'm saying, is he's sitting there, like, sitting there, and they're talking to each other, and then he looks over, and then he goes to get his meal, and he's like, I want the ones without noodles. And then if you notice, he takes the bowl back and gives him one new one.
Yeah.
So I was like, he fucked up.
The meal that she suggested is catching on, and more people are trying it. And I love how, like, they're talking about this story to 2 other complete random gentlemen strangers who are in the diner.
No, they're fan club members.
And the guy's like, oh, she's in her 40s or 50s? Good enough for me. I'm into women with low metabolisms. That's what gets me going.
Yeah, real
that
specifics.
Was very strange
That's
fetish.
the most oddly specific fetish I've ever heard.
Yep.
Oh my god. So there's a lot of back and forth between Shimada and Harumi where she was like, stop talking to me about the radio. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And continues to do so. But
yeah.
So eventually she opens up about her backstory, about why she doesn't like being talked about. It's because she didn't like working on the show and she thought she was the worst actress.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. What it came down to more was
the incident.
No. Also, the fact that, like, she figured out afterwards that, like, she would always be remembered just for that one role.
Yeah, she
which
didn't
most actors don't like doing that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh yeah, like, hey, weren't you Crimson Maple?
Yeah.
She didn't like that, so that's why she quit acting.
Well, it's sort of hand in hand. She didn't like that because she didn't have a good time on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was also that one incident they talked about where she walked into the change room and found Mr. Flying Squirrel wearing Pink Ranger uniform.
Which I actually liked how, like, at first it looked like it was going to be, he cheated on her.
Yeah, because, like, there were clothes along the floor, and if we all thought, is he having sex with someone?
I figured because
I thought he was cheating on her.
Because one of the other Rangers was another female one, so I was like, is he maybe having sex with the other Ranger?
With the Orange Ranger?
Because she said that she was in love with him, but probably at that point hadn't actually said anything.
Yeah.
So it was like, is she going to walk in and find him having sex with one of the other cast members? No! He's just wearing her costume.
Because he wishes he was a woman.
Yeah, and that came out, and wow, yeah, no, he literally got forced out of the closet on that one.
Yeah, almost literally.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't mean he's gay.
No,
but you understand what I mean, like,
yeah.
as someone who trans.
She actually takes it in pretty good stride, so she goes from someone who was crushing on him to
well, I guess that ain't happening, so best friends.
Speeding right through the friend zone into, hey, let's hang out and chat and laugh about this whole thing.
Yep.
And that was really nice. I like that. I guess you could call this show progressive because it takes a really positive attitude towards issues like these.
Mm-hmm.
So Harumi comes back to the bar after having explained the story with the newly womanized Flying Squirrel in tow, and he, of course, being a completely normal white male. Well, Asian white male.
What?
I'm sorry.
An Asian white male.
Asian white male.
Shut up! You know what I mean.
No, that has
it's
to be
late.
the episode title, sir.
No.
Yeah, that's the titles. Asian white male.
I feel like that would be a terrible idea.
Asian
No.
white male,
Yeah, no, don't
single
do it.
female lawyer.
Being.
I mean, it's better. I mean, it's better than the
Wearing
Asian blackface
sexy
we're going to be
mini
talking
skirts
about
and
later.
beads.
Hey-oh!
So of course he's completely shocked, but eventually he accepts it, and he's just happy to meet his hero, and that's great. And
again, very progressive, where he didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, granted, he was surprised.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be? Like, I mean, if I was sitting next in a bar and Austin St. John and drag came up next to me, I'd be oh hey man. But no, yeah, he was just like, hey, this is my childhood hero. I don't care. That's awesome.
And he has her on his radio show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Does, and the greatest thing was how what was her name?
I don't think they just called
Hey,
her
okay, Flying Squirrel.
Yeah.
She just ate that roll up.
Oh my
where
God.
she was when she was on the radio.
I love
It was
how
the best.
fast they changed gears on that one. Like, I'm going to do this really chipper female voice that I'm doing, and straight to deep, gruff male voice for the Sentai call-out.
That was amazing.
It's like, holy shit,
And
they
he's just,
shifted
like,
gears on a
This
dime
whole
on that one.
episode
And
put
he gets so into it, and like as he's like doing the final bits of the speech, like text appears on the screen in bold red, just like underlining it beautifully.
It was great. It was great.
I want to watch Koga now.
But then, how do we end this? How do we end this chestnut?
So cut back to the bar.
The ending.
Cut back to the bar, and the whole Sentai team showed up to eat tanmen without noodles.
In costume!
Yep, because they always do.
And then Shimada himself sneaks in as the 6th Ranger!
The white one.
Junpaku no Shima-chan!
Hey guys, I'm the new White Ranger.
Isn't it great or what?
And you know what was great? Like, for some reason, they start, like, breaking the fourth wall. Maybe it had to do with the fact that at the very beginning we saw a Deadpool poster.
Oh, I forgot to mention that!
Japanese Denkou poster!
It just looks at us, I'm like, what? What? Am I part of Japan's delusion at this point?
Do we talk first?
Anyway, this was a really good show. I'm actually going to keep watching this.
Yeah, I might
Cool.
keep watching
It's really
too.
nice.
Let us know which episode has Kuga in it, because we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
later.
apparently fucking Kuga's in this show.
You know, like,
somewhere.
this whole episode, like, the content about, like, the transgender thing, the fact of, like, that was my life once before, but now I'm happy with what I have now, and this guy just being genuinely...
But also being okay with who they were before.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that it had a fanboy who wasn't a full-on fanboy.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, hey! Like, how it should be. This whole episode managed to put a big smile on my face. Mm-hmm. And not only that, like, it brought back some really fond memories for me. Like, I don't know if any listeners remember, I spent a few months in Asia last year. Mm-hmm. Like, this was how I spent my nights, like, with my now ex, but still. Like, we went into these, like, these these dumpling bars and noodle houses at night. And just, it was great, because, like, I mean, I couldn't really speak, I couldn't understand what a lot was going on, but, it was cool. There was a nice warmth to it all.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And when they did speak English, that was always fun.
Yep. All right, so Midnight Diner, it's on Netflix. Go check it out.
Check it out.
Watch it now.
Anyway, I believe, Emily, you have to go?
Yes, because I have classes on Saturday for some reason.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
School on a weekend. Ew.
Pretty much how I feel about it. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
It was
See
nice.
you later, Emily.
Thank you,
It's always
sir.
a joy to have you around.
Sorry for such strange comments. I'm half asleep today, so I kept saying that's cool.
Don't worry, I know how that feels.
What you were saying is nothing strange compared to what happens on the show normally.
Right?
Like, you're fairly tame for...
Like, if it's not you who opens their mouth, it's usually one of us.
I'm the one who says stupid shit.
If I'm on the show, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's me.
This Sunday, the two Titans of Terror will duke it out. In this corner, we have the atomic monster Godzilla, and in this corner, the old but good King Kong, the Ape Lord. It's King of the Monsters versus King of Skull Island. Who will win? Who will lose? I'll tell you who will lose. The blacks, after they do inappropriate blackface in this film.
Yeah.
We have officially watched a movie with black-faced Japanese people,
And
I don't know how to feel.
Is glorious.
This movie.
So what did we watch?
Godzilla versus
We watched
King
a terrible
Kong.
movie.
Well, we should probably headphone up, actually.
Yes, we should.
You mean that thing I'm already doing?
Okay, we're good now. Ignore everything.
Ignore the man behind the curtain.
No, we're keeping it in. Let's go.
Anyways. So what did we watch, guys?
For the
Terrible Godzilla movie. Oh wait, all of them are terrible.
No.
For the second week of ZILLAVEMBER, Gar has chosen Godzilla versus King Kong.
Incorrect. It's King Kong versus Godzilla.
I don't care.
That actually matters.
It's funny.
It actually does matter because when I went to go look for it, it took me like 10 minutes to figure out you had it backwards.
Okay.
Apparently, originally this movie was actually fuck. I was almost about to call him Gojira. Godzilla.
It's fine. That's
No, I know.
technically
But, anyways, he was originally actually going to fight Frankenstein's monster.
That is correct.
Which explains why King Kong gets struck by lightning.
Yeah, apparently being struck by lightning gives King Kong super strength.
That's jumping ahead, but I do love in these old like Toho movies where like they had ideas and they just said fuck it halfway through, we'll just do it. But what about this? That makes sense. Don't worry about it. He's powered by lightning now. It's fine.
Now, from what I remember from watching this movie was the plot of this was some TV fucking exec asshole dude was like,
the Japanese Jonah Jameson, head of Pacific Pharmaceuticals, wants something to spice up his company's advertising.
So he's like, hey, I heard about this.
You guys keep calling him that. He's more like Japanese Groucho Marx.
Yeah.
So he's like, I heard about this island that has a giant gorilla thingy on it.
They didn't know it was a gorilla. They just
giant monster.
Some sort
Okay,
of giant
so
creature.
let's go and capture it.
I love how the guys, how those studio guys were like sitting there laughing about that, like, oh, giant monster, that isn't a thing. You live in a world where Godzilla is a fucking thing.
This has happened twice.
Why are you laughing about the concept of a giant monster?
That's the funny thing about
There
this.
have been 2 Godzillas and Anguirus.
That's a funny thing when I look back. This is the 3rd Godzilla movie.
Yep.
This is the 3rd.
Well, like, are the other ones canon in this one?
Every one of them is canon.
All the old stuff is canon
Okay.
to itself.
Yeah, it's canon to the first movie, right?
And what's interesting, this was the first one in color.
Yep.
Oh.
Which was promptly illustrated at the start by giant red logos!
Ah!
And I feel like Kill a Kill may have taken a page from this film.
Yeah.
Entirely possible. So, yeah. Godzilla versus King Kong. Just wrap your head around that for a second.
This
That
is
was cool.
fucking... That was a
To quick,
terrible fucking movie.
let's just quickly give our opinions about the movie as a whole for a second. I think the fight at the end was great, but I feel like the journey I made to get there was completely not worth it.
Yeah, like, it wasn't even laid moot because of it. It was literally the most boring fucking journey I have ever seen. I know they had to actually bring up King Kong, and they need to give him an origin story and everything, because I guarantee you Japanese audiences probably didn't know much about him. So they made their own origin story for it.
Yeah.
And I know all of that.
The only thing that...
But they didn't need to do 1 hour and 7 minutes worth of it.
You know what it was, Dave? And this is what I kind of noticed about this. The first hour of this movie was essentially them rebooting fucking the American King Kong movie.
Yeah, because we're watching it, and it's like pretty close to the story.
It's pretty much the exact same freaking movie,
You know,
except more Japanesed up.
You know, minus Japanese Groucho Marx going, I was strolling through the gas one day.
And there was no, like, pre-prepared female sacrifice.
I love this movie.
No,
Of course you do!
This was, I swear to God, other than the TriStar, the '98 Godzilla, this was probably the first Godzilla movie I saw start to finish as a child. And I love this movie. As a kid, I loved it because I was a huge King Kong nerd when I was a kid. That was like my favorite movie ever.
My God.
And
See,
I finally understand why people say Space Jam's bad.
right? Right?
see, I flipped me on this. I did a university paper comparing King Kong to Godzilla, like the original movies for both. So this one's a little
Fanfic gone awry.
Oh, and by the way, I understand we kind of started summarizing this movie. Now we're just giving opinions. Just hold your horses, people. We're gonna get there. Don't worry. But sorry, Elaine, you were saying.
I really liked it. Like, the fighting was great. I love that freaking Godzilla's answer to fighting things, especially in the early movies, was, "Oh, I'm gonna pick up this rock and then fucking throw it at you. Fuck yourself."
That's one of the
That's
synopses.
what King Kong did more.
That's like one of the synopsises of the film. Godzilla and King Kong throw a rock at each other for a while.
Yeah, like they keep throwing back the same fucking rock. It's amazing.
Yeah, they picked up a rock, they threw it, and then he shot lasers at him.
Yeah. So yeah, like the movie, the premise itself is just so fascinating to me.
And the campiness.
Let's take Godzilla, and face him off against King Kong.
And not only was that the premise, but at one point they pretty much just said to the audience, "God, I wonder who would win if they fought." And then it happened.
What I love too is like how they had to because they had to scale King Kong up. Okay, for those of you that don't know, like King Kong usually never peaks 25 feet.
No.
He's big, but he's not. He's like, okay, air quote, huge air quotes here. He's possible.
He's manageable big.
Manageable big, yeah. His hand's the size of a person.
Isn't in like this new Scotland?
I was gonna bring that up later, my bugaboo. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. I didn't know.
But yeah, so they scale him up, they beef him up, and they give him a coconut face. That's how I always described him. Like he looked like a coconut. To me.
My God! Anytime his face animated, it freaked me out.
It looked absolutely.
It's weird. Reptiles work better as suits than mammals. Apparently, who knew?
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's some backstory where our three main characters are just fucking around in their apartment. Hey, look at this! This tooth floss I made.
It's real strong.
And then he jumps out the fucking window.
I love that. I love that when I was a kid. How he just jumps out the window. Look at this string I made. It can carry anything. Whee!
This wire
But he's clearly wearing like this belt that it has a rope going up his back.
Yeah, I'm just more.
I just hope my wire fighting team is ready.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I'm more impressed with your ability to cling onto this wire-thin, like, string rope right now.
Is it cutting your fingers off?
Yeah, like you're supporting your own weight.
So there's like a lot of different plot threads where there's a sub filled with American crew that gets trapped in the iceberg. And their audio's out of sync oddly in that scene.
Which was actually cool because that is a continuity.
Yeah,
because in the second
film, in the second movie,
after Godzilla defeated Anguirus, he got trapped in ice.
Oh, cool.
So this is actually
continuity. That's where he came from.
Yeah. Yep. So when I love when they bust him out. Look, like just that zoom.
Yeah, and like the best part of the movie was the helicopter pilots. Like as Godzilla's breaking out, this American English-speaking man promptly declares, "Iskosira!"
Right? I sat there like, that was way too Japanese to be coming out of this white as fuck American guy.
And the best part about that is that when Godzilla comes out of the iceberg, it's just a toy.
Right?
Yeah, like this
it's
one.
It's like a little tiny little toy, and I'm like,
eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, holy fuck, come on.
Her guards.
It looks like an action figure from the first movie.
So I did appreciate how they like Godzilla didn't just bust out as soon as like, oh hey, King Kong's in town, now I need to get out too.
Yeah.
No. He busted out way before. They were also just happening to go look for a monster who turned out to be Kong, right? I love when they got to the island and they're just going through the woods and the jungle, and he finds that big lizard. Yeah. Like, he just starts whipping it around.
Oh my god.
Like, alright, act like it's alive. I don't know.
It's like Liu Kang fighting Reptile.
I like the giant octopus.
Let's talk about the giant octopus.
Oh,
an actual octopus.
Yeah, so what Gar told me was, apparently, like, for this giant octopus, they used 3 octopi. And apparently Superhuman was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat one of these for dinner. So he took one of the
According to what Gar
cooked it up and ate it.
according to what Gar was saying, Superhuman, the guy who would eventually make Ultraman, who was on the staff for this movie,
For some reason.
he had 3 octopi that he was using for those shots of the octopus moving around. But under the sand, he had hot plates to heat up the sand to make the thing move.
This was long before animal rights were a thing in most movies, especially in Japan.
I just want to see in the credits 3 octopi were harmed in the making of this
But
movie.
at the end of that, apparently what happened is 2 of them were put back and released. It's okay, you've done your thing. But one of them was kept because Subaraya was hungry and wanted lunch.
It was also like it was interesting because they used some stop motion, they used some puppets for a few shots.
Oh my god, that stop motion of Godzilla doing his fucking jump kick.
That was the best part. That was the best part.
Oh my god!
So okay, can we talk about blackface for a minute?
Oh,
okay.
Those
It's
Japanese
not
natives.
Okay, I understand this is a cultural thing. It's just not insensitive over there. Because here's the thing. This was 1962. This wasn't an okay thing to do at this point in time.
I just love how the guy that was their translator was also blackface, but they really half-assed his makeup.
Yeah, it's like kind of splotchy. And I'll chalk up to this one. Okay, when I was a kid, yeah, no, like for real. When I was a kid, I didn't notice. I was like, oh, black people, okay. I mean, I watched King Kong all the time when I was a kid. Like, that shit was in black and white. Okay, they're black people. Their skin is dark. They're clearly black.
They're islanders. Japan's an island.
Oh God.
Yeah, like they get to Skull Island or whatever, and you just see the native people, and I'm like, oh.
Oh,
I
no.
Those are the most Japanese-looking natives I've ever seen.
I swear to God, when they like started up the ritual to summon him, I just started chanting "Malego, Malego."
No, you heard me during that. Just like that suspiciously familiar fucking music that I was sitting there. Like, I'm listening to the fucking chanting, and just occasionally I'm like, Sephiroth.
Are we talking about the Islanders' music now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually kind of a catchy beat.
Legit. That's
Like,
what I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what One Winged Angel drew inspiration.
No, for real.
Just like that sounded really close.
No, for real, people, go listen to the island theme from King Kong vs. Godzilla. It really does sound like One Winged Angel,
right?
And you know what was really...
I was like, no, hey, fuck.
Maybe this was just my imagination or something because of the quality of the film, but I swear to God, when they were showing like the dancing women, I'm like 80% sure one of them was a man.
It's Japan, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's entirely possible, sir. No, so yeah, like, what happens is, Octopus attacks village, King Kong comes around to fuck shit up, he fights...
The minute you see, like, all that, like, scaffolding between the mountain crevice, you knew that King Kong was gonna bust through.
That's how he does it, right?
And then he, like, instantly, like, bunches it up into, like, a pointy orb of death and hucks it.
Oh, that was
At
great.
the screen.
Yeah.
It was great.
Speaking of hucking stuff at the screen, let's talk about the best visual effect in the movie.
Yeah,
Right? So, while the octopus was moving through the village and like over stuff, the effect that was being used is all the villagers were in front of a screen and the octopus was being projected onto the screen.
Yep.
So when the villagers started hucking spears at the octopus and torches, they were hucking them at a screen. And you could see them bouncing off the fucking screen, and the screen would, like, fucking move a little bit as it got hit.
And you could
see the shadows
like,
of these things on the screen, so it looked like there was, like, 2 spears going for a second.
That was amazing.
And then you realized what was actually happening, and you were like, oh, God.
It's like reverse 3D.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I like this movie, because it's just how fucking campy it was.
It's charming as all fuck. I love, too, how they subdue King Kong's ass. Where they like, let's get him drunk.
They feed him the berry juice and it tranks him.
And they have to sing that song.
Yeah.
Right?
King Kong's just like...
I love, and again, as always... Actually, no, wait, I just realized. This is one of the few movies that actually addresses how they got King Kong back to the mainland.
They put him on a raft and
We
dragged
built-
him behind the boat.
We built a giant fucking raft
with dynamite and then
with explosives.
Japanese Groucho Marx over there. He's just like, oh my goodness gracious me! You caught a giant gorilla. That's amazing, Mister. Don't touch it. Oh, sorry. He goes to lean.
What happens if he wakes up? If he wakes up, we'll blow him the fuck up.
That's great.
That was savage.
And then they tried, and it didn't work so well.
And they tried.
And then it just stood up out of the water anyway. Like,
Right? It's just like, well, apparently this is really shallow ocean.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like up to his fucking knees.
They're close to the mainland. What do you want?
I guess.
But like they were in an ocean liner. It should at least run a land then.
Dave, like, come on.
You're talking logic in a 1960s monster movie.
I'm gonna talk logic because that's what I do.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about with regards to the black-faced natives? What they gave them in exchange for letting them take King Kong.
Oh,
cigarettes?
Pre-lit cigarettes!
Yeah!
Including for the children!
For the children.
Cigarettes for all, including the underage children.
You know,
The child somehow knew to make the gesture for
Right?
smoke.
Kid made a gesture like, I want to smoke. Okay, here's two. Don't tell your mother. His mother grabs one out of his hands and starts smoking it.
Do people begin to realize why I miss these kinds of movies?
Right?
No.
Because you want to see black-faced Japanese people smoking?
As children. Yes. Yes, I do.
It was a peace offering.
Smoke 'em peace pipe.
We need something to bring back to our homeland so we can make ourselves more famous in our country. Here's cancer.
What's the Robin Williams bit? Oh, but we have a gift for you too, white man. For us it is a sacred herb. For you it'll be an addictive carcinogen. I hope you enjoy.
Oh, my favorite scene with the English speakers and their sub was when they started leaking, and one crew member thought, I know, I'll clog the leakage with my face!
I did it!
No, he was going up to close the bulkhead.
Or no, wouldn't that have been great if he said, I know, I'll drink the water!
And then the sub decided to release its mayday signal by promptly pissing in the ocean.
Yep.
And then that worked!
Hey, look, there's dye in the water. And people died.
I was gonna say that yellow liquid awfully turned red real quick. What the fuck?
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like we're jumping all over the place with this fucking movie.
Yeah, we are, but
We're more like talking about vignettes.
Then again, this movie jumped all over the place a lot.
this shit is so incongruent and non-sequential that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can just, as long as you add like the certain theme, like the certain scenes at the end and the beginning, and you can just edit anything in between with this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention how Godzilla did his first attack on like Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to land and then he gets attacked by remote control
tiny tanks.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
3D
what
tanks.
They tried.
And there's, I'm
Christ,
like,
Wayne.
why are you guys shooting Roman candles at Godzilla? You know it doesn't work.
Right? It's that moment of, yeah, guys, pull out all the tanks. We're going to fucking shoot Godzilla. And then they tried, and it didn't work, and he started laser breathing them, and they were just like, Bail!
Now,
Get back in the tunnel!
oh my god, I can't remember. Was this the one where the Godzilla suit caught on fire?
I don't think so.
Nope, the King Kong suit did a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
No, because I remember watching, I think it was this one with a friend a while back, and we were just talking about how, like, this isn't acting. This guy is afraid of being set on fire. Guys, get it off! No, this is great.
We can use this.
I love that one of the ways is like they trank King Kong or whatever, like they're able to tranquilize him again, and it's like, alright, so how the fuck are we getting him out of here? Balloons! He's gonna tie the whole thing around
That's your
balloons!
thumbnail, by the way.
Yeah! No, I already wrote that
He's
down.
just asleep and they're just lifting him up with fucking balloons and he's covered in strings.
And
He's
it's
just-
cold.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And we're sitting there the entire time. Look, we need to just cue the balloon fight theme right now. Just
Like, no, that's the thing. Like, at least they took the time to establish that earlier. I kind of appreciate that. Because the whole thing is, like, oh yeah, Godzilla, he's a menace, but King Kong, he might be able to beat him. And then, you know, how do we get him there? No, I know, my indestructible wires. How do we get him over there, though? balloons.
Yeah, so they
balloons.
They carry him over with these balloons, and like they see Godzilla, and they literally like.
Sorry, the best part about the fact that they use the balloons is the fact that it somehow works. Like,
Yeah.
you'd think stringing balloons onto something and carrying it into the air, it would just fucking wander off with no direction. But no, somehow it works!
The two helicopters were connected to it by a cord and were dragging him.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That's how they were steering that
Okay,
shit.
sorry, Elaine.
So like.
And they just dropped him on Godzilla.
Yeah, so they like literally drop him off a fucking mountain.
Oh,
and King
yeah!
Kong's just sliding down the mountain,
Slides
rams
down.
into Godzilla.
And then
Godzilla
they
fucking
fucking
rolls
roll.
down the mountain, and then King Kong's just like, alright,
Well,
I
guess that worked.
I did like
But
this.
when King Kong hits Godzilla, he turns him into his toy.
Yep.
Because it was just a plastic toy that was just rolling down a hill. It wasn't even the same.
And then they're just like grappling each other like they're hugging like fucking sex dolls or something. They're just like,
I was just like, shoot lasers at him. Shoot lasers at him.
I just love how
Lasers
King
at him.
Kong, like when the fight starts here, like King Kong like does whatever as at the start, and then he like does like one dodge roll to get around him, and suddenly he's like completely tired,
face plants into the rock,
and now he's out of energy.
and
down he goes.
And then yeah, King Kong like tosses a fucking giant rock at Godzilla.
Like,
Godzilla gets hit by it, and he's
tries
just like,
to bury
he's
him.
like, ow!
Oh, something I just realized. This is actually the first time either monsters were in color.
Cool.
King Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Also, there's like another part where like King Kong like tries to like fucking like stuff a tree down Godzilla's
Yeah, that's
throat.
great.
Like, eat
Oh my
tree!
And then he fire breaths the tree.
Yeah.
Eat your vegetables, motherfucker! Eat your vegetables!
Let's also talk about how King Kong tried to find an Empire State Building, but settled on the one he found.
Yes, they had to have that scene.
He settled on the Diet Building. That is literally the center of political power in Japan.
This'll do.
This building is okay, I guess.
See, like, just I really hate King Kong's design in this because like
King Kong's design has been called like one of the worst designs he's ever had.
No, that's why.
But then
like,
you should have seen him in the sequel.
No, but that's why I like Peter Jackson's King Kong. Like, I actually like that movie because like he was
It
just
was
a
a gorilla.
giant fucking gorilla.
I mean, they were like they were limited by what they could do.
That's
back
true.
then. But yeah, like I said, his face always looks so fucking.
Yeah, the face
weird.
is just like. "Argh."
So like during this big final fight that is amazing, eventually they just cut back to the humans, and then we just see Kong and Zilla fighting in the distance as puppets.
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
like hand puppets, like grr. Join me, King Kong, and together we will be totally cool buds. Oh.
And
Oh wait, no, sorry. Here's out to all our fans here. Fuck me, sorry.
It was weird.
We have found this wonderful place, my friend. This wonderful land, and we shall call it our land. I think we should call it your grave. Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Ha ha ha. Mine is an evil laugh. Now have at you.
And then
Oh.
sells phone and iPad 5.
I'm vanquished. That's for all you Firefly flans out there. Wayne.
Firefly flans?
Yeah, that's what I call them. Flans.
Jesus, I never realized how many fucking times Godzilla like whacked King Kong with his tail. He's just like, take that and that.
He literally
and
sat,
what are these?
He literally sat there slamming him with it a handful of times. The first set of times was after King Kong was already down after face planting himself into a rock. And Godzilla slammed him in the chest a bunch of times and I guess fucking resuscitated him.
Going back to what we were saying, like, yeah, originally this was supposed to be versus Frankenstein monster. Which, okay. So, yeah,
Giant Frankenstein.
When King Kong's down, how the hell does he get back up?
Lightning.
Lightning, motherfucker!
Real lightning!
His like face glows and it's really weird.
It's awesome!
And then yeah, just grabs his
And then
fucking tail and
every time he hits him, he shocks him. It's like, zzz, zzz.
Yeah.
You like that? Zzz, zzz. I got more. The
So,
power of
mounts
electricity.
If it sounds like we're rushing through this, it's because there's not too much to say.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those movies you have to kind of watch. You can't really...
it's an enjoyable time.
I would say, great thing is how the movie ends. So, how does the movie end?
So eventually the fight drags them to what looks like a Japanese castle of some sort.
Which I think this was the first time. Oh no, in the second one, that's when the pagoda went down the first time, right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
and so they decided to just co-op the shit out of that building together.
It looked like it was made of Lego at first.
And they just like roll around with each other, and they both fall off a fucking cliff into the ocean.
now here's the thing: Godzilla goes under, and he's not seen from again. They don't think he was defeated for good, but they're like, who won? Look, and you see King Kong swimming off into the distance.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: for the longest time, there was a theory, a conspiracy that there were two endings to this movie. One they shipped to the U.S. and one they shipped to Japan.
To show
where
each monster winning.
King Kong won in the U.S. releases, Godzilla won in the Japanese releases. And as James Rolfe put it, since the dawn of the internet, we now have our answer: pile of steaming shit. Not true. King Kong wins in all versions.
Yep.
Cool.
Because I guess the whole idea was, Godzilla's gone under, right? But there goes King Kong. He's going home. Yes, Raven.
May I just... King Kong wins in all versions. You know, probably because the U.S. was still occupying them at the time.
There you go. I like to believe in...
Yeah, we give you this movie.
For real, I'm going to say it was more like, oh, hey, King Kong can go home. Like,
right?
Because...
Just like the Americans.
Because... No, I mean for because they took him. It wasn't his choice to go there. Hell, even Groucho Marx even says, "No, let him go. He deserves to be at home." You know. There was also.
It was more like, I'm tired of trying.
Yep.
He was more like, I am legally responsible for paying for every bit of damage he causes. Let him leave.
Please let him go.
I'm out of money.
Funny thing, actually. So this was also the first time they tried to make Godzilla a little less dark, right? So his roar was a little more higher pitched, if you notice, and that's this roar he kept throughout the Showa series.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, because these movies have to have a ham-handed environmental message to them, at the end it's like, oh, we should change how we treat plants and animals.
Says the movie that hot plated a couple of octopi and then had one killed and eaten.
But like, why plants? What did we do to plants?
We shoved them down Godzilla's throat.
Yeah, that was one time.
I mean,
we used berries to make a giant alcohol. Make a giant alcohol.
No,
yes, good job.
Rubbing his nipple.
It was foreshadowing for the future when they had the plant monster attack Godzilla.
That's thinking, damn it.
Okay.
What about rubbing his nipple?
I forget. There was some part where I think it was King Kong was rubbing his nipple.
Yeah, while he was drinking shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, it's like he had the chick in his hand and he was on top of the building.
Oh yeah.
And he was kind of rubbing one of his nipples.
By the way, doesn't make any goddamn sense.
The fact that he took the captive?
Yeah, no, not that. Okay, I get it. It's King Kong. That's what he
King
does.
Kong.
But here's the problem: because you've beefed him up to the size of Godzilla,
the person should be way smaller.
You look. He's got her in his hand. How tall is she? 50 feet?
Hi, Dave. What do you think?
I think it's pretty good. I think the movie was actually pretty shit. No, what am I saying?
I do. Straight up,
the
like
only
I
thing
said.
that was really good was when King Kong joined the Vape Nation.
There you go.
Right?
Again, for real, this was the Godzilla movie I watched the most when I was a kid. And that's why I understand. It's not great. It's a Godzilla movie. None of them are really great. Excuse me.
It's the movie we got, not the movie we deserved.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it immensely for its campiness, its fun action, and it's a silly movie.
God, if you want to see really campy, you should watch the fucking movie where Godzilla's son shows up.
Oh my god.
No.
Hey, guess what next week is?
But Lane, to what you were
guess
saying,
what? I'm not on next week.
What I find the most interesting, this is one of the only times I ever genuinely wanted this. We're getting a remake.
Oh god.
Yeah.
If you don't know, the upcoming Kong Skull Island movie is in canon, in universe, with Godzilla 2014.
Wow.
And oh Jesus Christ, how am I looking forward to this.
Me too.
That trailer, man, that's one of the... I've never been more excited, because King Kong is one of my favorite things, period. Like, the movie from the 30s is one of my favorite movies of all time. I consider it one of the best movies ever made. I'm not even on a non-ironic level.
Yeah,
I really do.
Cell showed me it, and I really loved it.
I love how King Kong has been beefed up to the size of Godzilla once more.
Yeah.
He's not going to be as big as Godzilla, and I'm glad, but oh god.
No, he's fucking huge.
He's towering, and Loki's in the movie. And John Goodman's in the movie.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson's in the movie.
Oh god!
And John C. Reilly is in the movie.
And Michael Fassbender too?
Is he?
I think so.
Oh my god.
Something.
What's happening?
Star power.
There you go.
And I'm looking forward to Skull, and that's gonna be a fun time. Because, like I said, I really enjoyed Peter Jackson's King Kong. I thought it was a fucking awesome movie. So I'm looking forward to this.
Okay,
one too.
I have to read this part because it's an awesome bit of trivia here. In the final fight scene, when King Kong throws Godzilla over his shoulder, Shoichi Hirose didn't throw an empty suit, but actually threw it with Haru Nakajima still inside. It was Hirose's way of proving he was the stronger of the two.
Oh.
That's awesome!
Oh, okay.
John C. Reilly's gonna be in this movie.
I just said that!
Yay.
Wow.
Oh, well, with that, we should be,
Yeah.
So that is
King
Godzilla
Kong
versus King King.
I liked it. I
it's
thought it was
King
super.
Kong
I thought it was
I
super
know.
fucking campy. So.
Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
Yep.
you voted for Trump, don't lie.
We didn't
Oh,
vote.
my God.
You know, like half of the country.
Exactly.
Like half
Well, actually, no, we didn't vote like all of Canada. 'cause
We
can't
didn't
vote.
vote like half of the United States.
Ooh.
Scandal.
So,
Anyway.
thank you all for joining us for yet another episode of Castranger.
Woohoo.
Next week, ZILLAVEMBER continues, and we're back to our regularly scheduled superhero time.
Yay.
But until then, just remember, gorillas always beat dinosaurs.
And
And
don't
never
forget, in 2 weeks, be sure to check out the Voltron series that we will be doing.
Yep.
And remember the most important lesson of all. Never go blackface.
Ever.
Because you won't go backface.
Unless you're Robert Downey Jr. He got away from that pretty well.
Or America.
Goodbye,
'Cause,
everybody.
you know, they went black and now they're going back.
Bye.
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 That's amazing.